Here we are with the postseason action going off minus a hitch. Here we are with 2 weeks to go before the Super Bowl with only one game left. And we know who it is. Who's in Super Bowl 55? Holy crap, it's Tom Brady. It's the only way to put it. I mean, what other way can you put it when you have the parameters of not being able to curse? Because, look, I don't like to work blue, but there's really no other way to describe without, using the ultimate superlatives or language that can actually punctuate it with the proper amount of disbelief. And that's why Brady's got that fire that burns inside. That's why he has that monster chip on his shoulder. That's why, for Tom Brady, everyone wondering what his legacy is. We're going to talk about legacy for the next 2 weeks. It's all we talk about when Tom Brady plays a professional football playoff game these days is legacy. His legacy's already done. I mean, his legacy is done. And his legacy is this. Too much is never enough. That's it. No such thing as too much. The famous line from Wall Street when Bud Fox, the young trader on the floor, who wants the riches that Gordon Gekko has and understands that the methodology of Gordon Gekko is not something he was prepared to undertake. Bud Fox says to Gordon Gekko, how many yachts can you water ski behind? And Tom Brady's answer is not enough. Too much is never enough for Tom Brady. He has responded to what normally would be a disorienting experience for anybody. I mean, the only way I can equate it to anything that I've ever done, being a fellow Michigan man, outside of that, we begin to part ways in terms of similarities, Tom and I. Other than being married to a beautiful woman and aging like a fine woman.
There you go.
Hey, there you go.
Well, I guess we could keep going.
Yeah. You're a tremendous
But when I left ESPN, it was my identity, 7 years. And it was disorienting for me to move, to change locations, to just change the identity. The four letters of that network was what I always aspired to do and aspired to be at. And then all of a sudden, boom, gone. Just couldn't work out. Didn't work out. I didn't want to stay there under the circumstances that was laid out for me, and they didn't want me there based under the circumstances that they thought were necessary for me. It's not like they thought I was useless, that I was no longer any good. I didn't sit there and think that they couldn't provide me the platform for success or the path to success anymore. Just didn't work out. Done. And I had to deal with it. I couldn't imagine how disorienting it must have been for Tom, although it was his choice. And he chose Tampa, Florida. He chose Tampa because he saw the roster there. He saw the pieces. He saw the coaching staff. He saw no state tax, maybe. I don't know. You put it all together, and he kind of digged it. And we all know the path. We all know that it was a lot of downs before there were more ups. We all know the conversation that maybe Arians, his new coach, was being a lot more sharing in public than Tom was used to. That ruffled his feathers. We understand that, Antonio Brown was added mid-season, and that created potentially another added part to try and get used to for everyone. And now, after all of that, Tom Brady wins the NFC Championship game in Lambeau Field without the services of Antonio Brown. And now is the same number of quarters away from winning his 7th Super Bowl as the same number of fingers he held up after losing to Nick Foles because he did not know, apparently, how many downs were left for his team to win. 31-26 is the final score. Holy cow. Now then, it's just there's no conversation. There's no conversation. Brady has removed himself from the conversation about his peers, his actual peers in his sport. I mean, win or lose, I don't care. He's now up there with name an athlete in any other sport that's the greatest in that sport. Now he's compared to Jordan and Muhammad Ali and Tiger Woods, if he already wasn't. Now he's there. Okay? Now he's there. Name somebody in baseball. You want to talk about Babe Ruth, the dearly departed Hank Aaron, who didn't win as many championships. Bill Russell, keep going. Brady's there. That's where he is. 10 Super Bowls we'll never see again. I could just say a few numbers off the top of my head. And, 10 Super Bowls are absurd. He now is going to play in his 45th career postseason game. He has more than doubled up Joe Montana in victories in postseason games. And Montana's second on the list. He's doubled him up. With appearing in his 14th game on a championship weekend. It was 14. He doubled up Montana there. The 14 championship game appearances for Tom Brady are more than 26 National Football League franchises. His 45 postseason appearances, which will occur when he steps on the field for Super Sunday 2 weeks from yesterday. He will play in his 45th career postseason game. That is more than 21 NFL franchises. Tom Brady. Thomas Edward Brady. Thomas friggin' Edward Brady. Okay? It's just no conversation anymore. There's no talk anymore. I know your guy is your guy for your team. I get it. I get that Niners fans will go to their graves talking about Montana. I get that Steelers fans may go to their graves, depending on where they grew up, when they grew up, about Bradshaw or Big Ben. I get that Colts fans will go to their graves about, whenever they grew up, about Unitas or Peyton Manning. I get Broncos fans will talk about Elway. I get it. It's one big Mad Lib. Fill in a blank. Proper name of your guy, proper name of your team. No conversation. It's over. Done. Finished. Done. Tom Brady's done it as a 43-year-old, as the first guy to ever play 20 years with one team and then play for another team. And in his first year, in a pandemic, goes to the Super Bowl to become the first quarterback to ever play a game, a big game, in his home stadium. The man's a living, breathing, walking first ever. Throw an avocado ice cream on top of it and a supermodel wife and a guy who, God bless him, finishes the game and he runs up to the stands and it's like, I want to go see my son. Which, by the way, the question that you overheard him say that on Fox, I believe he was asking it of the security guard who was doing his or her job. Like, hey, can I speak to my son? Oh, that's Tom Brady in the number 12. Yeah, let him through.